Welcome back to the Hooniverse podcast. My name is Ross Ballett. I'm here with Chris Tracy and Kamil Kaluski. This is episode 374 of the Hooniverse podcast, and we are continuing with our ongoing shenanigans under the careful watch of Mr. Glucker and Dan Roth, and we're back. So we're recording today. It's July 24th, and in our news, we don't really. It's the dead of summer. No, nothing really all that exciting is happening. Jeep and Stellantis are continuing to go further down the shitter, for lack of a better phrase, with recalls and Gladiator sales dying repeatedly.
It's really sad, isn't it?
It's sad, but it's not unsurprising because $70,000 Gladiators are only so easy to sell. Much harder to sell, as it turns out, have been the Acura TLX and LC500H Lexus, and then the every Defender 90 that doesn't have a V8. So all of those are dead as of.
So let's say a few things about the Acura and the Lexus, the Japanese luxury brands. The TLX, maybe you can pull a picture of it up, please. That's one of the best looking sedans on the market, especially in the Type-S flap.
Because it doesn't look like a front-wheel drive based sedan. It looks like a traditional.
It's not. It's
sports sedan.
Yeah, but it's a front-wheel drive architecture with all-wheel drive, and it's just got a long. Yeah, they're awesome.
Handling all-wheel drive.
I'm just saying, it looks really good.
Shoddy.
It looks fantastic. We have all SUVs in our household, and every time
that's all I wanted to say about that.
If I had to go,
I'm not a.
There you go.
Bam.
Nice. Chris's computer's working. Everybody listening just left. But
just imagine a very sexy looking sports sedan that isn't actually a sports sedan.
It is. And I think the problems with the TLX, at least in this generation, have been that the backseat is almost unusable for anybody over like 5'8".
Can confirm.
And they got to be like 55, 60 grand still. And it's only 355 horsepower or something like that, which it's not, it's, we're in a world of 400 horsepower cars. Like, that's what you need. So it's dead. Goodbye. Sorry, Acura. Another one off the list. But at least they, at least they have the color-matched grille for the Integra for next year. So Kamil has left the building, by the way, for anybody watching and listening.
Sounds about right.
What just happened? Oh, he's having technological difficulties too, so that's par for the course. Okay, moving on. TLX is dead, and then also Defender 90 returns in V8 only for the upcoming model year, which, gotta say, the V8 Defender 90 is one of the best things I've ever driven. It's like old school muscle car. It has nowhere near enough chassis for the motor, and you floor it from a standstill, and it feels like it's trying to rip the front tires out from under you. It's great. I love those things. But it turns out they can't sell the turbocharged 4-cylinder ones, and then I think, could be wrong, but there was the 3-liter inline 6 was available in the D90.
Yep.
So
we dropped the 4-cylinder altogether quite some time ago. I can't keep up anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
it's a good thing we're on a car podcast.
They changed the logos in them.
Yeah.
So my favorite thing about that is we were all like, "Oh no, they can't buy the cheap ones." But like, who was buying the cheap ones?
Nobody.
I wanted to buy the cheap ones, but the cheap ones were too expensive for me.
Right. The cheap ones were still 65 grand, and then by the time you buy one out of warranty, you're gonna spend 10% of that every year just on keeping the car alive.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I have an interesting tidbit. Hold on. My friend has a Defender 90.
About the Defender or about the Lexus?
Let's stick with the Defender. He's got a Defender 110 V8. Okay.
Okay.
He drives a lot, so he's out of warranty. But he got extended warranty because he's smart. He's like, this thing is going to crap out on me. I'm wicked smart. I'm going to get extended warranty because I drive a lot. And he did. And you know what happened? His headlight went out. So it's not a problem. He goes back to the dealership. Hey, my headlight went out. You guys fixed it. It's under warranty. And they're like, nope. We can't do that because it's a wear and tear item. It's like a light bulb. So it's not under your warranty. But we have to replace the whole assembly. How much was the whole assembly?
$3,300.
Chris?
Higher. It's higher.
46.
It's got to be like $6,000.
46.
I lose. Price is right
Oh my
rules.
God.
And then you can't just like buy one off eBay because there's 3 different types. And of course the V8 has the most expensive ones. Then you have to have it programmed with the vehicle, of course.
What?
Yes.
Yep.
It's a headlight.
It's a headlight.
But they
yes.
have
You
like
to-
all the. Yeah, I know. I remember living that when I was doing stuff with Volvo, but yeah, that's crazy. $4,600 for a headlight assembly is just.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it's highway robbery.
If I ever decide to buy one of those, just remind me of this and or kick me really hard in my privates.
How about both? We can do both of those. That's hard. Yeah, that's horrible. So, anyways,
Can
A tidbit about the Lexus too, and then we can move on.
okay.
I'm gonna
The
make one joke
Lexus-
about the. Hold on, I'm gonna make one joke about the Defender. Can we still get the CarMax warranty that Doug figured
Doug
out with
warranty?
all? Yeah, the Doug warranty. Can we still do
No.
I don't know if you can get that on Land Rover products specifically,
that? I'm pretty sure Doug
And
killed
I
it
don't
for
know
all
if it
of
covers
us.
headlights.
and it also doesn't cover that. Yeah. So,
It should at that price.
right. God damn. Okay.
All right, sorry. LC500.
LC500. The V8 LC500 thankfully is sticking
No,
around.
not the V8.
Prettiest
The
car.
hybrid.
Yeah, the hybrid dies. The V8 sticks around.
So I have interesting thing about the hybrid because I know this kind of shit and nobody else does. Actually, Robbie told me about it, Robbie the Graph, because he's into weird stuff like I am. This is archaic
As
and
he
stuff.
would.
Yes. So the hybrid has the same size fuel tank as the V8.
Okay.
But because it's so much more efficient, the thing can go like 700 or 800 miles on one tank, and it is potentially the vehicle with the highest range on the market. It's close to
And now
800
it's
I
miles
would
from a
challenge
tank.
that. I would challenge that for highest range.
Are you challenging Robbie? I wouldn't
yeah,
care.
Robbie, text me. Robbie the Graph calling
He
you.
can't. He's
Text
out of the
me.
country.
Is he? Where is he?
He's in
I'll
Europe
set him for
traveling.
a later date once he gets back, and then
Okay. Well, good, enjoy your vacation, Robbie. Yeah, no, I've seen. I mean, just theoretically, like, a diesel Silverado, the 1500 diesel, has a 33-gallon gas tank, and at 30 miles per gallon, I don't know. We
did say
are working on car. Okay,
I did
car.
say
Fair enough.
So,
Fair enough.
Point of order. I did some quick Googling, as I normally do in these situations.
Yeah.
So, and Google is now treating me to the AI overview, so all of this could be completely heinous and wrong. So, Google's saying 644 for the LC500H. Silverado diesel range is 648. So
Okay.
4 miles difference, which anybody who's decent at hypermiling could handle on their own.
Okay. And this is where diesels are like, we miss them so dearly, because do you guys remember when they were doing the A8 TDI,
Yeah.
which had like a theoretical range of almost 900 miles or something, which it's just, at that point, it's bragging rights. It's not actually beneficial, You're only sticking out those extra 4 hours in the seat to say you did that many miles between fill-ups for bragging rights, and that's
Well,
it. But
I know, like that's a luxury sedan. You're forgetting the Ford Excursion family hauler with its diesel and 44-gallon tank that had a theoretical range of 792
God.
miles.
Dude, when my when my dad bought his 2007 Duramax, it had like a stupid gas tank because it was optioned a really weird way, so it had like a 20-something gallon gas tank. So he got rid of it and put one of those Titan tanks in, which was like, I think it was like 67 gallons or something.
Jesus.
And the Duramax would do like low 20s on the freeway. And the theoretical range was like almost 1,000 miles or 1,100 miles or something like that. And it was,
It's all right. You don't ever need to pee.
no.
For an apocalypse vehicle, that's actually important.
For an
Yes.
apocalypse vehicle, yep. Yep.
I'm sorry, I had to let my dog out and I got to get her back in.
Is it thunderstorming there
The
too?
apocalypse outside, yeah. No, not. I don't think he's getting a storm.
Oh.
Okay. I had a topic for us to discuss, but I think given our time constraints tonight, we can probably glance over it just because the three of us have so much other actual good stuff to talk about since we haven't recorded in about a month.
It's been a hot minute, yep.
6 weeks or thereabouts. So we will save the absolute nerdery of tires for a later show. And we're going to talk about stuff we've driven and stuff we've done and seen and gone and, experienced since we last recorded. So I know we were joking last time about not talking about our Lexus GX based adventures and doings, but I really want to kick it off because I was on the verge of selling mine and came back full circle. Had some very kind folks at Toyo and Wheel Pros send some stuff over, and Chris, I will text you a picture. So
I was like,
there you go.
I'm sneaking out on. I'm doing what I used to do all the other time, dude. We used to do this to guests all the time. They talk about their old car. Was it like Tanner Faust had like a 2003 Mitsubishi Evo, and I found purple photos of it online. Like,
yep.
I don't think that was Tanner. I think that was a different guy. But
oh god, who was that?
We don't need to bore the people with how long ago that was. That's like good 3 to 4 years ago now.
Could have been 5, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, very good sleuthing as always.
The GX did GX things.
GX did GX things. So it's got 255 8017 Toyo Open Country RT Trails on it now, and Pro Comp wheels, and took it wheeling with my friend Mike and his son, and it did awesome. And it kind of restored my excitement in the vehicle. And quote unquote car people will joke like, if you're falling out of love with the car that you've loved, like people will joke, put a new exhaust on it or do something like that, or take it to a track day, and it'll buy you more time so you don't get time. You don't have to. None of this is have to, but you don't have like an enthusiast disease obligation to get rid of it. And going wheeling with the truck did just that. I spent quite a lot of time on the winch and had a great day, and GX Adventures are back in business. So
if you're telling me that you spend a lot of time on a winch, maybe the tires aren't as good as you say they are.
Dude, no, the tires honestly did great. It was a ground clearance problem a couple times, and just like mud.
You're getting ready to address the ground clearance issue, or is it going to keep it at the same height?
It's going to do a little bit for it. So, yeah, we can talk about this now or later, but Elka sent suspension over for me to put on and test, and it should do like an extra inch of ground clearance in the front, but the back's going to keep it the same. And
then remote reservoir?
The remote reservoir is really just going to help with like comfort. But yeah, it shouldn't help with ground clearance that much. It'll help with compliance and keeping tires on the ground, ideally. But yeah, winch still works. So winching's fun.
Was your you got synthetic line on there, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How old's your line?
2021.
2021? Is it getting a little old, a little frayed there in this photo?
No.
And I'm about to share. It looks.
Does it look like it's frayed?
I don't know. Like I don't know how clear it's going to come across in the image here. It looks a little weird to me. I don't know. But I'm not a winch guy. I'm not.
No, it's fine.
I'm not a recovery safety guy.
It's going to be inspected thoroughly after you mention that. I tell you that. Yeah, man.
It's my normal eyes that don't see weird things.
Yeah, you don't look at that from the driver's seat when you're winching.
Correct. You are 100% correct. But as you're posting the photos to your accounts, Ross, we should probably be examining.
Yeah. So actually, the last time that I used the winch and had to like spool it back on the right way myself was at night, and I used a press car has that land anchor, and didn't look at it, so I'll look at it. Anyways, moving on. Who's next? Everybody did GX stuff.
Mine is very boring. I'm in the middle of kids sports season as well. So like I've lived out of the GX all summer long, taking my kid to club baseball stuff. Well, my oldest is in the process of doing college football recruiting, and so normally it's like a couple hours here, 3.5 hours over there. Like the other day, he went 8.5 hours away for one of these camps, and so we.
That's brutal.
Yeah, he and I. Well, it was towards the Denver area, so being located in Kansas City, the kids are all pretty much used to bombing out to the mountains and back. So, but going out one day, spending the night, doing the camp in the morning, getting back in the GX and bombing home the next day was a little out of our normal routine. Super windy both days, which is normal for the Great Plains. Spent half the day with most of the day with the steering wheel actually tilted. And not like, oh, here comes a gust, let me turn into it. No, it was like just constant wind, so it was just...
Is that like drastically more so than the input you would have had to give like the Sequoia or Suburban?
Yeah. Well,
it's weight-based or aerodynamics-based?
So I think it's a little bit of both. The Sequoia has... Well, I shouldn't say both. Maybe it's neither. The Sequoia is heavier, but it has overboosted power steering, and so the actual input that I have to apply to it doesn't take the same load on me personally, where the GX's steering is not as boosted, and so if you've ever you had driven a V8 4Runner, that's you have a GX too, it's heavy. Where the Sequoia feels very much, the Sequoia very much feels like a Suburban or a truck or something like that. It is you can do the one finger steering in the Sequoia. You're not doing that in the GX. So, my upper body's in more shape now, I guess. And so all 17 hours plus. Yeah, I was fine. Well, one day it was to the left, and the next day we were going the other way, so it was to the right. It was literally wind out of the south the whole time, so it worked out. Jeez. But now, I don't think you want me to jump to I'll talk to the other thing later.
That's a very winded way of saying I drove somewhere.
I drove. My Lexus, my fancy Toyota did well.
But I've had a V8 4Runner in the past. I have the GX now. Both of those vehicles on that drive do the same thing, that when you're like, oh crap, allegedly I need to get around this person, so I'll just blip the throttle. And it gets to a speed that is probably not recommended, but it gets there very quickly, and you pass whoever you need to pass, and you're right back down to the legal limit, right? It is so good at doing that. And so my biggest frustration was passing people who weren't on cruise control, and so I'd be at my 5 over that Kansas allows, just pegged at that all day long, and I'd be creeping up on somebody. And then they'd accelerate and be like, depending on hills or gullies or whatever. And I'd be like, dude, I was catching you. And then there was a gray F-150 that he and I, for 25, 30 minutes, I'd close up on him, and then he'd slide in front of me and go around a semi. I'm like, dude, just wait, just let me go by you. I'm going to be by you the rest of the day.
Hope you don't get off at the same exit as them,
We did for one fuel stop. I got off, and then 5 minutes later, he got off behind me. I waved at him, and he smiled. We were good. I wasn't being a dick. We were good.
Yeah, that changes once you have a trailer, because then people are
100%.
A little, yeah.
Speaking of trailers, I don't trailer much, but it's a story that I was going to get to later. But I went to Watkins Glen 2 weeks ago. And I went with my friend, and he had a gooseneck 40-foot trailer, a really long one. We were in a Ram 3500, and he was driving, and it's a 6-hour drive to here. And he's like, oh, I'm fine, until he wasn't. He was tired. He started falling asleep. I'm like, oh, let's switch. He's like, when was the last time you trailered something? I'm like, 7-8 years ago, once. So I have no experience. But I'm like, dude, you know something? Yeah. I can go in a straight line. It's on the highway. I'm like, how difficult could it be? And it wasn't. It was the easiest thing I've ever done. Yes, it was long, and I just kept that in the back of my mind, but I cruised at 70, 75. I had no issues with it. I actually found it extremely easy and surprisingly so. So that was my big towing experience.
That's a fucking load. That's not nothing, you know.
On the video of the trailer.
Yeah, so there were 2 race cars in it, about 1,000 pounds of crap. We calculated that we were probably about 19,000 pounds.
Those
are the race cars. Those are Ginettas. I didn't mean to send you a video. But we had 2 of these Ginetta race cars and a ton of stuff in it. The trailer was actually just behind it. I had a cool picture of the truck. I can send it to you. But it was a good weekend.
That looks fun. Dude.
I can go into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Make sure he's paid up on his insurance premium. Just chucking people behind the wheel of that. What does the Ginetta cost now? I remember we talked about this a long time ago.
So this is a Ginetta G55 GTA. So it's a spec racer, and I think it's about $150,000. So I spent a long weekend with them. We left Thursday morning at like 5 in the morning. We got back around 1 a.m. on Sunday, early Monday. They had one of their 6 seasonal races at Watkins Glen, which was 3 races, a qualifying and a whole bunch of practices. So he was there supporting his clients' cars. I think we were supporting
what series
a total.
Is it?
So it's a Ginetta Series Racing.
Ginetta Sex Spec.
It's not.
Ginetta Sex Series.
I'd have sex with a car.
It's sexy, but it's a spec race just for these cars, and it was really competitive and a lot of fun. They had a field of about 20 or 21 cars or something like that.
I always wonder. There's so many different spec series. Like there's Ginetta and there's Miata and there's Ferrari and there BRZ at one point and all these other things. How do you decide that that's what you're going to do?
It's actually very simple. I had the same questions. So over the weekend, I spoke a lot with a lot of people over this. So spec Miata, you basically don't have a chance of being competitive because there you go. That's my friend Bear, actually. That's who I was driving with. Because spec Miata are built to spec, and people who build these cars go to like every detail of every gram of everything, and then they race. They know these cars to really be competitive in spec Miata. You have to be a nut job, but basically. And
if you've ever watched the last like 5 or 10 laps of a spec Miata race, especially down in like Daytona, it's friggin' madness.
Isn't there
yes.
There's a documentary about spec Miata racing, I think.
Is there?
I'll Google it. I'll let you know.
But basically, you want no part of it. So that gets removed. Ferrari Challenge, you probably will financially capped out on it quite instantly. And the same goes with a lot of other cars. So they developed a series where everybody's got an identical car. So it's not like an E46 spec or whatever where you build up your own car. You have a factory sealed motor. Everybody's got the same suspension setups, and the car. Every car gets there's a Ginetta rep before every race doing tech inspection. So it's pretty much impossible to cheat at that point.
Okay, that makes a lot more. Yeah, it's like a middle ground between an entry level spec series and the quote unquote
there's one more thing.
Gentleman driver light type deal.
Every race car you build that's based on a street car, you'll have some kind of a compromise. Crumple zones, suspension mounting points, that sort of stuff. This was built to be a race car from the beginning. So, for instance, all the bodywork is clipped on. The hood comes off with 4 hood pins. The whole back shell of it has just snaps on it. Same thing with sides. One guy went ass first into a wall. They had the car, it would have totaled an E46 or something, or an E36, or even a Miata. In the back, they just unbolted the support chassis from the cage, bolted in a new one, because Ginetta was there with a truck full of parts. And they had enough parts, they said, to build 2 cars that they brought with them. And they had it fixed in about 6 hours.
Weekend. Yeah, that's there is no such thing as cheap racing, but...
Dude, the amount of money I saw just floating around over there. I mean, $1 million truck and trailer setups. There were just dime a dozen.
Can't believe it.
So the Miata Spec Series documentary is called First to the Finish, and it follows 3 ladies pursuing their dreams.
Interesting.
Filmed over the MX-5 Cup Championship in 24 season.
Huh. I will have to check it out.
It's on Prime.
First to the Finish.
Unless you boycotted that, and then so it's probably somewhere else.
Everything's on the internet if you look for it. Okay. Where do we want to go here? Chris, I know one of your other Colorado adventures, you drove not a Jeep Wagoneer, and I drove one a few years ago and quite liked it, actually, and I booked another one for a trip in a couple weeks, so I want to hear about your experience with it.
So I drove, the Sequoia needed work when it came time for our family trip out to Colorado. We always kind of go around the 4th of July because that's when high school sports kind of go a dead week around here. And so I drove a Wagoneer L out to the small town of Pagosa Springs, Colorado. It's like south centrally located. Weirdly, it feels like, and I don't mean this as a slight to Pagosa because I really like the area, but it feels like knockoff Glacier. Like it's kind of more flat, but the same kind of style of mountains around the valley area, and still lots of ponderosa pines around and things like that. But to get out there, I drove, I think it was a 24 Wagoneer L. It had the Hurricane engine, and literally the same. So I don't know what it is about this drive to this place because we leave I-70. I think we're on the I-70 only for like 4.5 hours, and then we get off I-70, and then you're on just like 2-lane highways all the way out to Colorado to get here and back. You go over 2 passes. I think the highest elevation you get is a little over 10,000 feet. But
pretty good.
Had all 4 kids in it. Had all of our stuff in the back. I'll tell you the thing I don't like about it right now: rear glass doesn't open. So if you got a big family and you've had big SUVs in the back, you know that lift gate comes up. Cool, we get all the big stuff in, slam the lift gate down, open the glass. Now we get to stuff the rest of the stuff into the back.
Yeah, you get to actually use the
space,
maximize
right?
The space that an SUV provides.
Yeah, you have to, with the Wagoneer L, you have to like position, and I'm assuming with the regular Wagoneer too, you got to, and Grand Wagoneer, you got to position your stuff ahead of time and then slam it down real quick. And then you got to crawl in the back seat, get the second row captain out of the way, and then stuff over the top through the inside. So that's a little negative to it. But we were talking earlier about range and things like that. I think I saw like 680 miles after a fill up with one of.
That's pretty good. And
I think we were headed down at that point because Kansas is a ramp to Colorado. So the trip out, everything was in the 500s. The trip home, I was seeing close to 700 miles of range on a fuel tank.
And definitely liked the elevation, the Hurricane engine.
Oh my gosh, yes. The turbos were amazing at elevation.
It's a twin turbo, right? It's not a single turbo. It's a twin turbo 6.
Twin turbo straight 6, inline 6.
For reference, when I tested a 2022 Wagoneer Series 2, I averaged 14.1 miles per gallon. So for you to see a range of over 6, it must have done quite a bit better.
I took a photo. I gotta scroll through my Google Photos, but I have. I was
30-gallon tank. Yeah. So
I had trip meter B was like just going the whole time. Like I started it when we left the house. Total trip 19.8.
That's pretty good for all family.
Fully loaded family, 1,700 miles. That's going up. No trailer. No. I didn't trailer the side-by-side out from Kansas. I picked that up out there.
But that's included in your total trip mileage, isn't it?
Yeah, that was part of it, yeah.
So that's pretty good. I mean, not
that was only like
side-by-side.
4 miles. Like we picked it up at a rental place and we went up to the mountain and then got the side-by-side down and went. But then, that was that. On the way home, 21.6 on the way home, coming down on elevation.
Also pretty good.
So, and that was over 11 hours, 780 miles.
I wonder what the public reception of the Hurricane engine has been. I mean, I know in the Rams, obviously the public reception has been what led them to bring the V8 back. So not good is the answer. But I wonder if the Wagoneer owners even care if it's a Hurricane now and not a Hemi.
They don't.
I drove the Ram 1500 with the Hurricane engine. my one takeaway from it was, if I didn't know what was under the hood, I wouldn't know if it's a V8 or an inline six. Given the occasional whistle or so. It was
I
very
drove
transparent.
a Ram. I had a Ram 1500 with a Hurricane too, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Only thing that
I don't know.
was lacking versus the Hemi was the sound, which.
But it still gives you a little bit of noise. Like, it's not
nothing. The 6.4 and the 5.7, even with the 8-speed transmission, they got horrible gas mileage. Even in the Grand Cherokee.
Dude. Terrible. Just terrible.
They were really bad on gas.
Yeah. And the ironic thing is the 2500 with the Cummins, I get better gas mileage when I test those things than I do with any of the 1500s by like a pretty good margin. And those things talk about sound. Oh my God!
Yeah. But you look at the GM pickups with the same overhead valve V8 engine, same configuration, right? With a 10-speed transmission, they're substantially much more fuel efficient.
I don't know if I would say substantially.
They're more fuel efficient. Maybe not substantially.
They're. I don't know. We're splitting hairs here. I mean, none of them are good. Like it's.
Good point.
19.8 or 21 in a Wagoneer L is for that trip is respectable. Loaded down the way it was,
and it brought me back to like it rode like. I used to have an 03 Yukon XL, right? Like that long wheelbase, 6.2 V8. It was fantastic.
GMT 800s will always and forever be like the best riding, simplest cush.
Right.
You know?
But I was lucky to maybe see 600 go on a range. But I had to be going downhill and like coaxing it to 19. Like that was hard to do in that truck. And this thing, I didn't baby anything. I wasn't like lifting coat. Like I drove it. Mm-hmm. And I will say that allegedly I was very close to triple digits trying to pass somebody in the mountains. Now, giant plain valley area, allegedly. Could see for miles. Like, wasn't risking anyone. And it didn't. This is a rental truck. This wasn't a press truck that I was like gifted. It had 39,000 miles on it when I started the trip. It ended at 41. Like it has seen some stuff, and it acted like nothing was wrong. Which is why when you were like, "Oh, Chris fell in love with the Wagoneer," I was like, "Did it fall in love or was it fall in lust?" Because it was a.
That's fair.
It was kind of a one-trip thing. Because I think if I had to live with it and had to deal with like the reliability issues that have been fairly well documented on those trucks, I would be ready to shoot myself in the foot over it.
Probably, and I mean the sticker on it was probably 70 something.
I've built 3 online since I got back, and it was always in the high 70s to the low 80s.
Yeah, that's how you know you thought about it more than.
And after our
the actual sale price would be significantly lower these days.
That is true. That is true.
We can hope. But then again, we were after our discussion the other day, and I was like, "What will drive the highway for me?" We were talking about Blue Cruise or Super Cruise. I built an Expedition Max. Again, I'm looking at $84,000 because I wanted the massaging seats.
So
I'm old.
So
go big, go home.
So here's an interesting thing. I mentioned that I towed that trailer. That was a Ram 3500. So it's my friend's truck. He's got 90,000 miles on it. You wouldn't know it. So he's thinking, hey, I'm thinking about a Ford F450. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's probably more capable, but I kind of took a deep dive into researching on what the hell makes the F450 special. And it's the axles in the thing.
The front axle, is wider.
Wide axles. This thing's got a turning radius of like 30 feet for a dually crew cab pickup truck, which is pretty amazing.
And you get bigger brakes.
You do?
Yeah. I shouldn't say I may or may not. I have a brother-in-law who runs a moving company, and he's got an F250, which we have modified a number of ways. Like he went from helper springs to full airbags in the back. He tows, I think his trailer's only 30 feet. It's definitely not a gooseneck. He's a bumper pull. And so we've been looking at like how do we get him more stable. And so you can go to a 350 with a dual axle, and it's basically all of the same componentry as a 250. You just get the wider axle in the back. When you get to the 450, you do get bigger brakes. You get the higher output diesel turbo diesel. Man,
6.7.
No, it's the same engine. You have an option for the more powerful.
Yeah, but it's
the 450 is always the higher output. They won't let you do the lower output 6.7. I mean, maybe you can say the Ford guy.
I was configuring it with both engines.
Okay. Well, that
Maybe
might
it's
just be
trim
Ford's configurators messed up because every time I look at it, it was like all the 450s come with a higher output. We won't talk about Slate's configurator.
Versus 25 or something.
What'd you say, Kamil?
24 versus 25.
That absolutely now, and I'll tell you right now, I'm looking at used stuff too. I'm looking at like 20s to 20. I think it was like 21 to 23 was the window we were looking at.
New. But I had a point to it. So I didn't mean to cut you off. But hold on.
No, you're good.
So I'm like, let me look at the F450, which I know now too much about. But here's the thing. He's like, I can get 50 grand for my Ram, whatever, and I can go buy an equivalent one for about 70 grand, because even though the MSRP on it's like 90, they're just throwing them out.
Oh, yeah.
The F450, if you can find the one you want, you're paying MSRP, which is about 100. And
yeah,
depending on the trim level. So he's like, is it worth the 30 grand more?
Depends how much he tows. I mean, is it 90,000 miles over 2 years, or is it 90,000 miles over 10 years?
It's probably 70,000 miles with a trailer attached to it. And this is a 2020. It's a 2020 model year, so you do the math.
Okay.
So that's a lot of towing.
Yeah, that's enough towing that if you have the money, like, why wouldn't you?
So I will tell you that in our discussions, Kamil, like it's to the point where we're like, because he was starting to say like, well, I could just go get this one over here. It's much cheaper, but it's not fully capable. I'm like, listen, man, bite the bullet now. If it's going to allow you to do more trips and it's going to be more reliable, I was like, get it with a warranty. Because it's that 10-speed. That's the same 10-speed in all of them. Like the transmission seems to be the weakest link in those trucks. Whether it's the 250, 350, 450, the Rams, I think, have transmission issues too. We didn't look at Rams very often because he tends to lean forward. I shouldn't speak to that if I don't actually know it. I can report back next time.
But it's the same transmission, because it's the same drivetrain in the F250, 350, and 450. It's just a difference in axles, and just I think the frame.
High output.
Yeah.
Which when I was configuring the Expedition Max the other day, it was like once you went up to get the fancy seats, you had to go with the high output engine. I was like, I don't want the high output engine. I want the regular output engine with those seats,
right?
Because I don't want the extra things that can go wrong with it. The 3.5 V6 is fine. I don't need the higher output.
Well, wasn't there
that.
Yeah, they had the same thing for the Hurricane engine though. There was a standard output and a high output version of the Hurricane engine.
Yeah, and I don't want the high output. I just want the standard output.
Right.
So, what you should look at if you're looking at the higher trim levels of the Expedition, you should go look at the Lincoln Navigator, because it can get you about the same thing for about the same money, and or plus or minus some things.
Probably depreciate quicker too.
Do they make a Max in the Navigator?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think only Max. Yes, the Max length. Yes, they have to.
They definitely do.
Yes.
Do they call it the Max? What do they call it when it's bigger in the Lincoln? I'm going to go on their website and find out for us.
I think this is the first time in podcast history that anybody has talked about the long wheelbase Lincoln Navigator. So
leave it to the kid in a rich county in the middle of the U.S. to start talking about.
Yeah, that's funny.
We won't talk about the fact that my mid 40-year-old ass just referred to myself as a kid.
Okay, let's move through other stuff quickly because Kamil turns into a pumpkin in 10 minutes.
It's just like the Wagoneer. It's an L.
It's just an L?
Yeah, it's an L for the long one. Navigator L.
I have my Gran Turismo Racing League at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Dude, I'm not going to bed. The day is young.
The shortest basis Navigator starts at $99,000.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I'm keeping this information to myself when I have a screen share function, but yeah.
That's like... That's
99.9, 103, 16.9.
I feel like that $5 for $5 under $100,000, that's almost insulting, because anybody spending that much money, like, first of all, I don't care about $5. Second of all, with taxes over. Third of all, isn't it kind of like a dick measuring contest at that point, and they want it to be more expensive?
Well, that you just get the L version, then you start at 102.
There you go.
So what's the L in the top trim? It's 119.
The question is, what are they actually selling for?
I've done zero research on this, so.
Reserve jet appearance pack. I will say the Navigators, the way the backrest on the seats can adjust independently, the top and the bottom, is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Was it like 32-way moving seats or something like that?
It's crazy.
The problem with those seats is, as comfortable as they are, as cool as they look, it took me about 15 minutes to get comfortable in them, to adjust everything, and I still wasn't like in my perfect space.
Dude.
You know?
Okay. So I have a Range Rover Sport SV Edition 2 or something right now. And I thought that, like, I couldn't figure out what was wrong with the seats in these things, in the loaner that's parked out front. And usually, to make a seat more comfortable, when it has adjustable bolsters, you move the bolsters out so that you have more width for your back to sit flat against the backrest. The only way that this is comfortable is if the bolsters come in, so they're like flush against each other. The most counterintuitive thing I could have possibly, imagined, and leave it to them to.
What year is this Range Rover?
It's a 2025 Sport SV Edition
SV?
2. I have it on my list. It's a $206,000 Range Rover with 625 horsepower.
I won that. I won that cost the other day.
You did win that guessing contest, and
suck it, Dan.
yeah. I thought I had completely lost my sensibility about how to set a seat, and then turns out the buttons go the opposite way, or the cushions have to move the opposite way. So more on that thing after I drive it a little more.
Those are Fender seats. That's not
posted a review on Hooniverse of the Canyon AT4X AEV, which was very conflicting. Suspension's amazing. Like, that Multimatic suspension is really, truly, for a mid-sized truck, it's just so good. And the size of the truck's good, and the truck looks great. And the fact that it drives so well and so buttoned down, and like you would never know it's on 35-inch tires with that much armor, and that approach angle and everything, like straight from the factory. It's amazing that's
so let's get to the point. What didn't you like about it, so we can have a fight about it?
Okay, so
because I had the same car about a year ago.
Okay, and I've had the Colorado ZR2 and a bunch of others like this. What didn't I like? I think the engine is severely undertaxed, and I continue to say it's the slowest 300 horsepower vehicle I've ever driven.
You're wrong. Okay.
Is that?
I probably am. I won't deny that, but it feels
gearing.
Possibly. I don't think
so
gearing changes.
Here's where you're wrong.
30.
The engine is fine. Okay, the gearing is fine too. I actually towed with it. I towed one of those Ginettas in an aluminum.
I also towed with the Colorado ZR2, and it sucked.
Right, but that's not this.
It was fine. It was great. It pulled it. It accelerated. I had no issues with it. I don't know what you're on about over there. The engine is fine.
I disagree. I thought it was just hunting for gears, and it just.
Did you put regular gas in it or something? I mean, I think it calls for regular. But what did you?
I didn't fill it up. I didn't fill it up. Drove it with what was in the tank when it got here.
Whatever the fleet brought it with.
Yeah, which I had the same experience with two different trucks with the same engine and the same setup. So, just my experience. Maybe we feel differently. I don't know.
I had that 2.7 when it first came out in the Silverado.
Which was, they also had a normal output and high output version
sucked.
of that.
But it sucked.
3 outputs, I think.
It was horrible. I actually got a check engine light in it for most of the time I had it. It was coming and going. But that engine in the Colorado was a completely different, had a completely different feel about it, different output, different everything. And it wasn't bad at all. But then I compared it apples to a Ford Ranger, which was an XLT model with the 2.3, and I'm very familiar with the 2.3 because I have it in my own car. and that GM engine was significantly more flexible and smoother than a Ford.
Interesting. Yeah,
And I haven't driven the Toyota.
Okay, comparatively, yes, I can see where you feel it is better based on a comparative, like, cross section here. I still think, like, big picture zoomed out, it's just not the ideal engine for the application. And I mean, the gas mileage was terrible too, because it's 35-inch tires with a Turbo 4 that's trying to maximize fuel economy, and you can't get the best of both worlds when that's the reality.
I don't even talk about fuel economy when I'm driving a vehicle like this, because if I was concerned about fuel economy, I wouldn't have bought that.
No, I probably wouldn't have either, but I mean, like, my Lexus gets 5 miles per gallon better than I got in either the ZR2 or the Canyon.
What do you get in a Lexus?
I still get like 18.
Dude, I get like 11 in mine.
Yeah.
Yours is old as shit.
But I have a 5.
Yours, yeah, the 470s get worse gas mileage than the 460s.
Bigger tires. And I have an annoying
your tires are drastically heavier.
Yes.
I specifically sought out narrow, light tires for gas mileage purposes. So anyway, okay.
I don't need those.
So I didn't like that about the Canyon, and I don't have a problem with the fact that they moved the headlight switch to the center screen the way every other journalist who went on the first wave, thought it was the end of the world. But because those controls are in the center screen, there's like no other buttons, so the whole interior just feels cheap. And like, yeah, it has the toggle switches for HVAC and the locking diffs and all that stuff, but like below the belt line is just cheap hard plastic, which is the same as like a $30,000 truck, and this one was $70,000. And also white leather in an off-road truck, and not just in this picture on the on the dash and the door cards, but also on the seat backs. White leather in an off-road pickup is freaking stupid.
Okay, let me tell you the biggest gripe I had with that Chevy. It was $67,000 with that AEV package and everything on it, which is quite a lot. Fine, but that $67,000 didn't get me one thing that really pissed me off. When I'm driving, I like my sunroof open, I like my windows open, and in pickup trucks, I love
what you're gonna say.
That slide rear window open. Except it's manual in that thing, but because it's a markup model, you can't reach out and just close it because you can't reach it. You actually have to stop, get out, and slide it closed because it's not powered.
I'm 95% sure the Canyon has a power rear window.
Huh?
I think the Canyon's rear window is powered.
It's not.
No,
It's not.
I think I have a video of my daughter with her head through the window and me like closing it on her head.
Okay, so it wasn't in 2024.
They might have, it might have been like a, a value-added thing over time.
It was fully loaded, unless they made a mid-year change or something. That's what annoyed me about it.
I'm going to pull the window sticker up because that's one of the things that would theoretically say on the window sticker.
Theoretically. They're not going to say what's not on it in the car.
They won't, This truck doesn't have...
Come on, Chris, you can't ask your AI friend about this?
It's just a sliding rear window on that one. Like, the question was, does the GMC Canyon have a power sliding rear window? And then it just says it also has a sliding rear window. Like, that's not an answer. I want the powered version.
Because it's not powered.
It is powered in the current one.
Like in the 25?
Yeah.
Oh,
GMC's you don't seem very
website.
Confident in that answer.
No, oh man, now you guys are... Nothing is devastating like self-doubt.
Well, I mean,
we can go back to that next time we're having this.
No, there's one of those toggle switches next to the HVAC stuff.
No, that was all windows down at the same time, or all windows up, if I remember correctly, excluding the rear window.
All right, hold on a second. Interior.
Oh, maybe.
Can we give
high res
have a Jeopardy
overhead?
background music or something?
High res
Yeah,
interior.
Jeopardy is incoming.
Images.
Christ.
Tools, large. Size, large, yeah.
Well, I found the picture of my daughter in the bed of the truck, but not the alleged video of it, me opening and closing it. Which now I'm wondering if it was a different truck.
Uh-huh.
So the toggles underneath look like rear diff, front drift, the auto start stop, hazards, lane keep assist, and then I think Kamil is right. The far right one is like all the windows down, all the windows up, and then there's one. I can share, and I'm just describing this as I talk. I can't tell what this button is right here.
I think that is trailer.
Is that trailer mode?
I think so. But the switch would be on the overhead by like the sunroof.
Okay, well that's not what you said.
I know. Well, I what the?
It has a sunroof?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to sunroof.
We're running out of time here. You guys are taking 10 minutes to
Yeah. Kamil, you drive anything exciting while we're...
Kia K4. Actually, I had two Kia K4s.
I had one of those too. Why did you have two of them?
Identical color, identical everything, except one is turbo and one isn't. So you would think that would make the turbo a sleeper, right? No, it's not, because the non-turbo one is kind of just slow, and the turbo one is just like normal car fast. I haven't really, got it on the highway yet or anything like that. But I thought they gave me the same car twice. But no,
That's fine.
there's no badges on it. I'm like, I had to open the hood to verify. There's a turbo sign on it.
I had a GT line turbo a few weeks ago.
That's what this is.
Yeah, it was a car.
It's exactly what it's a beige midsize sedan.
It was fine.
I don't like the style. I don't like the back styling, but there's nothing amazing to say about it. But there's also nothing bad for me to say about it.
It is definitely a polarizing design from a few angles. Like if you look at the rear three quarters,
I don't like it.
It's not.
So I should have a video of it. If it's not on Hooniverse, it's definitely on my YouTube channel of the non-turbo one. If you guys have a desire for whatever reason to get my opinion on it.
This damn TikTok goes right to the switches and then cuts.
I will.
Howard, why are you so stubborn?
I don't think it's powered.
It's big. I found it so annoying.
So there's three switches that I can see up there, Ross. One is obviously interior lamps, door on off. And then there's the two, which would be for the sunroof, all the back, and then the tilt up and down. I don't see a third switch up there.
Shit. Wow. Okay. I don't concede yet. I will send a text to the fleet guys tomorrow and have this confirmed, because I will not give up without a fight.
Dear fleet guys, just send me a Canyon so I can figure this out instead of me having to Google everything.
No, the fleet guys are doing me some real solids, and
I have a video review of that truck on my YouTube channel, and I mentioned specifically that because it pissed me off that much.
Okay, well there you go.
But again, it was a 2024, but I don't think GM does annual changes.
They do decontenting, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. Anything else we want to discuss before we wrap? We've been all over the place tonight.
I want to talk more about my Watkins weekend, but it'll be a longer story because there's much more to say. So I'm going to prepare something for next time for it. Because I think I got some interesting things on it. I'm going to try to write an article about it. I'm going to see if I can give it to someone other than Hooniverse so we get a little bit more eyes.
Fun. Cool.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, and we'll try to not make it a month and a half between.
Those cars have air jacks too, and I sent you.
They have air jacks?
Yes. Cool. I need air jacks on all my cars now. I didn't know I could live without it.
How long would your air jacks be for the 470? It'd be like 17 feet long to get it up.
Oh my god.
I just want them, okay? Leave me alone. Don't judge me.
Don't bring logic into this.
Here's the thing: they're not actually air. They use a different gas.
Please say nitrogen, because air is 78% nitrogen.
No, it was. I don't remember, but it was stronger than air because you have to put in so much of it to lift up a lot of weight.
I'm just imagining a 470 with like the pistons in the seats because they have to have the same length as God. Oh man.
I need air jacks in my cars. It's the coolest thing ever.
I didn't realize they had air jacks. That makes them about 100 times cooler.
Yeah.
Just goes to show that we are all children at heart. Car do cool thing. Car be happy.
It says most of them are powered by nitrogen tanks.
Nitrogen. Thank you.
Because nitrogen without the oxygen element is more stable and has minimal danger. Like nitrogen by itself is not flammable.
Minimal danger for the race cars.
But that's like when they put nitrogen in your tires, so the air is more stable in your tire. Like you're 80% there already. Just leave it alone.
Well, you get green valve stem caps. I have to fix my high lift jack. I've been saying this for probably 3 years now.
I need to get one. I've been saying that for 2 years.
Just buy a high lift extreme and call it, and then use it properly.
No, because I don't have anywhere to keep it. No, I'm just gonna get. I sent you a picture of it. It's like a bottle jack, but it's got like a built-in jack stand in it. That's what I'm gonna get. Yeah, there you go. So you get the air valve. So you have the nitrogen or whatever the hell this is tanks over here on the left, and you just connect it, and it goes poof. And then to make it safe, you have like little stand brackety things that you put around this, and then you can drop it on that, and you have it on jack stands.
Oh, nice.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go race.
Okay. Well, follow Kamil on, I don't know, where do you want to be followed anymore?
I kind of gave up on fucking social media, so just go to my...
Like me too.
That's why I said it like
The
that.
real
Jeff.
Kamil. I have a solid 220 some viewers now. And I decided that I'm going to post everything I do with regarding cars on there. So I got a bike rack the other day that went in. I got a few videos from the race. I didn't talk about my Lexus experience. I washed it for the first time in a year. But mothers send me all kinds of product, to do it with. It looks so much better. Holy crap. So I'm going to have a big video about this, and I'll write it up. It's going to be great.
Cool.
Didn't you just text us the photo of that the other day?
I did. Yeah.
Tell me what worked, because the paint on mine is jacked.
So my problem is I don't really wash cars. So
me either.
I think anything would have worked for me. Anything would have made a substantial difference.
Fair enough.
Of course, after I spent 3 hours polishing it and doing whatever the hell I was doing, there was like a downpour, like thunderstorms and everything. But that gave me the choice to see how the water beads, and it was great. Yeah, that's my piece of crap with the product on top of it.
Like PTSD, and it looks exactly like my truck used to look, even though it's
it's much worse.
Generation older. It's so funny. No, I'll send you a picture of the paint on mine. It's just all trail rash.
Okay.
Did it to myself. Happy about it. So, okay, follow Kamil or don't follow Kamil. And he's going to go get smoked in
Probably.
GT something racing.
Bye.
By Chris, would you like to be followed, or are you also not looking for...
I'm good.
You're good?
Go read stuff on Hooniverse.
Yeah. Follow Chris on this show, because he's doing this show with us. I'm very, very happy about that. And yeah, I'm also, again, not Jeff Clucker, so follow me. My name's Ross, and I'd prefer if you just read my shit on Hooniverse. And that's it. Thanks for listening.